Nicaragua's government, led by President Daniel Ortega, continues to escalate efforts to silence the Christian faithful. His targets include the Catholic Church, church officials, and even a leading bishop. U.S. lawmakers and government officials are stepping up efforts to secure more religious freedom in the country. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales has more. Erik?
Good evening, Tracy. Nicaragua's seizure of a Jesuit-run university last month is the latest episode in the government's campaign to silence the Catholic Church. Since 2018, Catholic priests and laity critical of the government have been harassed, exiled, imprisoned, tortured, and even murdered. The U.S. Ambassador for International Religious Freedom says the crackdown is getting worse.
We're also seeing more direct violence on the ground in Nicaragua. And the repression of the church itself, the Catholic Church itself, seems to be great, where you have the government going in and arresting so many of the religious leaders.
In a high-profile case, the Ortega dictatorship accused Bishop Rolando Alvarez, a government critic and staunch advocate for religious rights, of treason and sentenced him to more than 26 years in prison. Currently, his whereabouts and health are unknown. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops recently released a statement saying, in part, quote, "The continued incarceration of Bishop Álvarez is unjust and must end as soon as possible." Critics add no person or institution of faith is safe in Nicaragua.
Religious leaders in a position where they're very cautious about what they can preach about. And you've got communities that are concerned about whether they can even be going to church, can be seen as affiliated with these, religious institutions.
Longtime religious freedom advocate, Republican Congressman Chris Smith tells me the status quo is unacceptable and the Biden administration needs to do more.
There needs to be real action. You can't coddle a dictatorship and expect anything but for the abuse to accelerate and get significantly worse. And that's what's happening with Ortega.
It's time for the international community to wake up to this historic evil and for the Biden administration to take action.
Congressman Chris Smith has written to President Ortega demanding proof that Bishop Álvarez is alive and that he'll be allowed access to medical care. The State Department has also placed Nicaragua on the list of countries with high incidence of human rights abuses. At the Capitol, Erik Rosales, EWTN News Nightly.